Welcome to Blazing Baseball, episode 118. We
Ooh.
blaze through today's baseball topics, and we are Astros and Yankees fans.
Yep.
So right now, the one game going on live is the Rockies and Padres, and they're tied 3-3. And they're actually going to be a doubleheader, and this is the only game that there's no previous game that's happened today. And then later today, sorry if I mispronounce any names in this podcast. The Rockies Urena will verse the Padres, who is 1-3, will verse the Padres who is zip and zip. And also, we have a bunch of today is the last day of the
Today's the trading deadline, so they're
we
going
have
wacko.
a lot of trades to go over today on this podcast.
Yep. Sure
So-
do.
And then later today, we have the Reds at Marlins with the Reds Ashcraft, who is 4-2, versus the Marlins Garrett, who is 2-4. And then we have the Mets at Nats with the Mets DeGrom coming back finally,
Mm-hmm.
who is zip and zip, versus the Nats Abbott, who is zip and zip. And then we have the Mariners at Yanks with the Mariners Gilbert, who is 10-4, versus the Yanks Talion, who is 10-2.
Yeah, 10-2.
And then we have the Brewers at Pirates with the Brewers Burns, who is 8-4, versus the Pirates Wilson, who is 1-6. And then we have the D-backs at Guardians with the D-backs Gallen, who is 5-2, versus the Guardians McKenzie, who is 7-7. And then we have the Blue Jays at the Rays with Toronto's Gossman, who is 7-8, versus Rays Rasmussen, who is 6-3. And then we have the Phillies at the Braves with the Phillies Nelson, who is 3-1, versus the Braves Strider, who is 5-3. And then the Tigers at the Twins with the Tigers Manning, who is zip and zip, versus the Twins Archer, who is 2-5. And then we have the Cubs at Cards with the Cubs Thompson, who is 8-4, versus the Cards Wainwright, 7-8. And then we have the Orioles at Rangers with the Orioles Lyles, who is 7-8, versus the Rangers Howard, who is 2-2. And then we have the Boston Bum Sox at the Houston Astros with Boston's Crawford, who is 2-3, versus Astros Javier, who is 6-6. And then we have the Royals at White Sox with the Royals Keller, who is 5-11, versus the White Sox Giolito, who is 6-6. And then we have the A's at Angels with the A's Irvin, who is 6-7, versus the Angels Thor Syndergaard, who is 5-8. And then we have the Dodgers at Giants with the Dodgers Anderson, who is 11-1, versus the Giants Wood, who is 7-8.
All right, full stack, 15 games plus the doubleheader. Lots of baseball on Tuesday night. Well, yesterday the Astros lost 3-2 in Houston against the Boston Red Sox. Astros came up with 5 hits and 2 runs. Yuli had a double and Diaz had a double, and then Diaz had a triple, but we left 7 runners on base and we lost the game 3-2. Red Sox had 6 hits and 3 runs. The losing pitcher for the Astros was Garcia. He's 8-7. He threw 7 innings. He pitched pretty well. He gave up 6 hits and 3 runs, and his ERA is 3.81. But that wasn't enough because the Astros only came up with the 2 runs. The winning pitcher was Eovaldi. He's 5-3 for the Red Sox. He pitched 6 1/3 innings. He had 6 strikeouts. His earned run average is 4.11, and he got the win. There were 35,185 fans at Minute Maid Park. Astros still stay in first place. They're 67-37 first place in the AL West. The Red Sox are 5th place in the AL East. They're 52-52, 500 on the season. But Astros are going to get at them again tonight. Who's trying the Astros?
So tonight at Minute Maid in Houston at 7:10 Central Time, we have Christian Javier on the mound for the Astros, who is a right-handed pitcher who is 6-6 with a 3.26 ERA and 121 strikeouts. On the mound for Boston is Cutter Crawford, who is a right-handed pitcher who is 2-3 with a 4.15 ERA and 50 strikeouts. Up first for the Astros is Altuve at second base, batting 270, and then Gurriel at first base, batting 243, and then Alvarez at left field, batting 308, and then Bregman at third base, batting 242, and then Tucker at right field, batting 240, and then Diaz at DH, batting 255, and then Pena at shortstop, batting 249, and then Myers at center field, batting 220, and then Maldonado at catcher, batting 175.
All right. And the Yankees won last night 7-2 over the Seattle Mariners. Yankees had 10 hits and 7 runs. Judge had a double. Then Rizzo had a home run. Judge had a home run. And Trevino had a home run. So the Yankees ended up scoring 7 runs on 10 hits. The winning pitcher was
Herman.
Herman is the winning pitcher. He's 1-1. Okay, he pitched 5 innings. He gave up 6 hits and 2 earned runs, and his earned run average is 6.39, but that's down from where it was. And he won the game. Gonzalez had the loss. He's 6-11 for the season. He checked for 5 innings, and his ERA is 3.95. There were 36,731 fans screaming at New York Stadium, the Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And the Yankees pull off the win. They're in first place in the AL East with 70 wins. And the Mariners are in second place in the AL West. They're 55-49. And the Yankees and the Mariners are back at it again tonight.
Looks like the Rockies just hit a homer.
Oh.
Oh, yes, and it's top of the 5th. Oh, no. That might have happened earlier. But
it is the top of the 5th.
It looks like the guy who probably hit the homer earlier is back up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So still 3-3.
Starvish. Yep.
Still 3-3.
3-3 went out. Person on first and second. And double play.
Oh, boy.
Get out.
Knocked him out.
All right. So today in the Bronx, we have at 6:05 Central Time, James Italian for the Yanks, who's running a pitching, who is 10-2 with a 3.72 ERA and 92 strikeouts. And then up on the mound for the Mariners is Logan Gilbert, who is a right-handed pitcher, who is 10-4 with a 2.78 ERA and 118 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher too. They got 2 good pitchers tonight going.
And before we get into this, did we go over the Red Sox standing lineup? Yeah, let's give a refresh on that.
It wasn't in. Yeah, it's not in.
We'll give you all the blazing baseball predicted lineup for Boston. And we will base it off of yesterday's lineup against Boston.
All right.
And so, up first, we have Duran at center field for Boston, and then Bogarts at shortstop, and then Verdugo at left field, and then Martinez at DH, and then Arroyo at third base, and then Cordero at right field, and then Delbeck at first base, and then Sanchez at second base, and then Plawecki at catcher. All right, and then back to this lineup.
Back to the Yankees.
Yankees and Mariners. Up first for Seattle is Frazier at right field, betting 244, and then Winker at left field, betting 229, and then Suarez at third base, betting 231, and then Santana at first base, betting 203, and then Crawford at shortstop, betting 262, and then Lewis at DH, betting 186, and then Riley at catcher, betting 204, and then Kalenic at center field, betting 129, and then Toro at second base, betting 176. Up first for the Yanks is LeMahieu at second base, betting 290, and then Judge at DH, betting 299, and then Rizzo at first base, betting 229, and then Carpenter at right field, betting 321, and then Donaldson at third base, betting 218, and then Benintendi at left field, betting 311, and then Trevino at catcher, betting 260, and then Kiner-Falefa at shortstop, betting 269, and then Hicks at center field, betting 230.
All right. Good lineup for the Yanks. And we got the standings.
So in the AL East, the Yanks are in first place, 12 games over the Blue Jays.
All right.
In the AL Central, the Twins are 1 game over the Guardians. And in the AL West, the Astros are 12 games over Seattle.
Yep.
In the NL East, the Mets are 3.5 games over the Braves. In the NL Central, the Brewers are 3 games over the Cards. And in the NL West, the Dodgers are 12 games over the Padres.
Yeah. The Dodgers, Milwaukee, and the Mets are 7-3 in their last 10 games. Houston is 5-5 in their last 10 games. Minnesota is 5-5, and the Yankees are 6-4 in their last 10 games. So that's what's happening on top.
All right. And so we'll start with the biggest trade.
All right.
We have San Diego Padres trade for Washington Nats slugger Juan Soto. And according to Jeff Passan from ESPN, it says the return package going to the Nats include prospects left-handed pitcher Mackenzie Gold, Robert Hassel III, C.J. Abrams, outfielder James Wood, and right-handed pitcher Yarlin Susanna. And Washington also gets baseman/designated hitter Luke Voigt. All right. And then the Mets, according to MLB.com by Anthony DiComo, Mets add Ruff from SF for J.D. Davis and 3 prospects.
And it looks like the Yankees traded Joey Gallo to the Dodgers.
Yep. We'll get into that one too. So the prospects. The Mets get are lefties. Oh, no, wait.
Yeah.
Davis, Thomas, Sapuki, and Nick Zwack.
They're all pitchers.
And pitching prospects, Carson Samora.
They're all pitchers. Wow.
All right. And then we have MLB.com, according to Todd Zalecki, Phil's trade for O.F. Marsh, R.H.P. Robertson. So it says the Phillies acquired right-hander David Robertson from the Cubs and outfielder Brandon Marsh from the Angels. The Phillies sent right-hander Ben Brown to the Cubs and catcher Logan O'Hope to the Angels. All right, and then we have
the Joey Gallo trade. The Yankees traded Joey Gallo for right-handed hitter Clayton Beeter, who is the number 15 prospect in the Dodgers organization. So it was a hitter for a hitter, lefty hitter for a righty hitter.
How do you feel about that?
I feel bad. I like Gallo. I don't know why he just couldn't get going with the Yankees. I don't know what happened. He just was slumped in the beginning and he never got out of it. He's only got 159 average. So he had a low average and he hasn't been able to tap into that this season. That's it. So Yankees are going with the younger Clayton Beeter, the number 15 prospect, and they're going to go with that right-handed batter. And news, but there's a lot of news out there. How about the Astros? What did the Astros come up with?
We'll get to them, but we also have, according to MLBTradeRumors.com, by Mark Polishuk, the Brewers have acquired right-hander Trevor Rosenthal from the Giants. John Heyman. All right, they must have not traded anyone really important because it was pretty difficult to find that one.
Okay. Well, the Astros got the catcher from the Red Sox.
Yep.
And then the Phillies traded Thor. Traded for Thor, and Moniak went to the Angels. Boy, there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yep. And then
Nats traded. I'm sorry. Hosmer to Boston. Oh boy, things are heating up.
Yeah, Padres with the Padres.
Okay.
And Hosmer. And so Boston gets Corey Rozier and Max Ferguson for Eric Hosmer.
All right.
First baseman, Eric Hosmer. And then also, MLB trade rumors, Tim Durkee's, the Mariners are acquiring Jake Lamb from the Dodgers for cash consideration. And then we have the Detroit Tigers trade reliever Michael Fulmer to Minnesota Twins for pitching prospects by Detroit Free Press, Evan Petzold. And we also have, according to MLBTradeRumors.com by Steve Adams, Mariners to acquire Matthew Boyd. And then also, same website, different person by Anthony Franco, Twins to acquire Michael Fulmer. And then the Astros also got the Braves' former closer in a three-way trade with the Braves.
Good.
Detroit.
And all right. Well, there's a lot of stuff happening. So Vasquez went to the Astros.
For Vasquez, the Red Sox got two prospects, infielder outfielder Emmanuel Valdez and outfielder Weiler Abreu.
Okay, there you have it. Okay.
So that's probably needed with Castro's injury and
Castro got hurt, so the
Lee
Astros
being a rookie.
A rookie, right? They have to have a second catcher for the playoffs, for coming down the home stretch and playoffs, getting into the World Series. They're going to need them. Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully that this also pitching trade bolsters our bullpen.
Yep, and it will.
Yep.
They got the stopper from the Braves.
Yep. Any other baseball topics you want to go over today?
A lot of trades going on. My head's spinning. I'm trying to absorb it all.
Yeah.
We'll be able to give you more updates on all the trades tomorrow on Blazing Baseball.
Yep. We'll catch you here tomorrow on Blazing Baseball. Blazing through tomorrow's baseball topics. Peace.
Peace out.